Hello everybody and welcome back to the Best Ride in Planet Coaster Tournament. Last episode we saw the Hyperspin take down Big Wheel, Psychola psych out Wild Blue, Insanity flush Looper down the Pooper, and Genie granting its own wish of beating Pathos III. In today's episode we have Sunflare vs Forge, Scizzor vs Coriolis, and Zozo vs Hammer Swing. Let's get right into our first match. Looking at these stats made me realize something. Forge is the only ride in the tournament to move on with an excitement above 5. Its fear and nausea are also around 5, which is a little on the high side, but so far it seems to have worked out for it. Sunflare's stats seem pretty average except for fear at 4.15, which may cause some guests to turn away. Let's get right into round 1 and find out. Match 11, Sunflare vs Forge. Who will win? I don't know. Let's find out. The rides are open. The park is open. And let the match begin. Round 1. Let's go. They're off. It's looking even right off the start, although Sunflare, I have no idea. Look at this. How many times have I said that where I think I know and then I don't know and then I just say, you know what, I have no idea. It's the theme. A lot of people are leaving the park. They don't want to ride Forge or Sunflare. Forge, as we know, is the one that beat the odds. The first match Forge was in. And Forge beat the odds, has greater ratings than the Gears of Fear that it beat, and it surprisingly won. Sunflare, though, Sunflare has the numbers. This is fascinating. Look at this. It appears that Sunflare is winning. But, I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of guests turn away from Forge, and not as many are turning away from Sunflare. It's almost like, oh, my camera's weird. It's almost like Forge is too intense. Nausea's at 499 compared to Sunflare's 306. Again, that excitement isn't doing it any favors. I could have sworn Forge was going to win this round. But it's looking like Sunflare has it beat. I don't know. I don't think I can handle that ride. It's not that bad in terms of spinning, but those chains up that high, I just don't trust it. I can't trust it. I mean, it's probably safe. They're probably perfectly fine, but I don't know. I don't even have a fear of heights, but that's different. That's different than a fear of heights. That's a fear of the ride itself. I don't trust that right there. At all. That's why I don't think I'd ever step foot on that thing. But anyway, where was I at? Just taking a bit of a break there from the match to commentate on that. It's looking like Sunflare's going to win round 1. By a decent chunk. And as we found out in the previous episode when I tested the Genie vs Pathos III, a very small amount of guests can equal a lot of amount of guests. It might not look like a lot in the queue, but it definitely is. And there's no way Forge will be able to come back and win this with 6 guests left in the park. Or, hold on. Yeah, 6 guests. They're going to leave. Just pick a ride or leave. Yeah, just keep bouncing back and forth, idiots. Yeah, there's no way. Sunflare wins round 1. All right, the park is open. Round 2 begins now. Again, it's not looking good for Forge. That was a pretty decent gap. And I think the problem is it's just too intense. Both these rides, people aren't going in either of them because they're both closed. Yeah, they're really intense. So intense that they don't even run. All right, we're closing the park down. Everyone's leaving. We're going to pause. We're going to open both rides. Okay, and then we're going to open the park. Just kidding, round 2 begins now. Amazing. But still, the point is still there where I feel like a lot more guests were turning away from this ride. See, there was a big family. There's another family. Although, it's so strange. It starts off strong. But Sunflare's stronger. Just a giant clog of people here. It's great. But look at all the people. If all these people didn't turn away. It's interesting how many come here and then just like, nah. There are a few people turning away from Sunflare, but just not nearly as much. Wait a second. Where'd you get those hats? Did you enter my park looking that ridiculous? They're wearing... Oh my god, that kid doesn't have eyes. They're wearing elf hats. It's April. What are you doing? Yeah, I have a feeling those are special people. People who spent a lot more money to be featured in the game. Anyway. Stupid Steam overlay! Now's not the time. I'm in the middle of a round. It's the first time it happened when I was recording. It usually happens like right before I start. Oh well, I can edit that out. Ruining my video. It is a lot closer this time around than last time. Look at that giant group of guests entering Forge. That might even it up, but then we have another chunk of guests in Sunflare. Yeah, look at that. It was practically even until this. So it is a close series. This is why we do multiple rounds, because like the further on we get in this tournament, the closer and closer these should get. Which is pretty cool to see right here, although the first round was not, and it is still looking like Sunflare's going to take it. There's still 50 guests in the park. It is so much closer this time around. I may have to run the rides. I don't want to run the rides. You saw how long. Like, you can look at the bottom and just see how long it takes. When I ran the rides in the previous video, I have to. If this is how close it's going to be, I have no choice but to run these rides. Although it's looking like Sunflare's taking the lead again. If it's this close, I'll run them. I'm kind of hoping every guest enters the Sunflare queue line now. Just so I don't have to run them. No, I'm going to have to sit here and do it. I'm actually excited. Look how close this is. This is super close. We might not have our first... Or we might have our first non-2-0 victory. 502 guests in the park. We're waiting until every single one's in the park. They did not go in that queue line. They didn't go... Just, okay, leave. No, this park isn't for you. Leave. Leave! Thank you. So people who actually enjoy these rides can enter. And that's a group of... Oh, boy. Look at this. It's dead even. See, what's truly amazing is Sunflare had a decent lead at the start here. All right, we're gonna run it and count the numbers. Count the numbers. We're not gonna count anything. We're gonna look at the numbers. Okay, the last people just got off Sunflare. The rides have been run, and I have not seen these numbers. So here we go. The Forge needs 251 guests or more to survive another round. Here we go. The Forge had 244 lifetime guests, while the Sunflare had 257. I think that by far is the closest matchup we've had. And Sunflare wins round 2, moves on to the next round in the tournament. Wow, what a great match to start off the day. And with that close call, Sunflare 2-0's Forge and moves on in the tournament. Next up, we have Scizzor vs. Coriolis. Let's look at the stats. These two rides are actually very close in stats. Only 0.36 separates their excitement. However, when it comes to fear and nausea, Scizzor has a little bit more. That may or may not help it. Odds are it won't help it, judging by what we've seen. But let's jump into the match and find out. Match 12, Scizzor versus Coriolis. Now, both these rides, very similar stats. Scizzor is a little bit higher in everything, but other than that, I feel like it's going to be a close one. So, rides are open, park is open, let round 1... Hold on. I may not have let things clear out from last time. Why am I like this? The starts of these rounds, I'm struggling with already. Everyone leave. Alright, they're all gone. We're going to pause. We're going to reopen everything just to make sure it's as even as possible. It probably doesn't matter if I open up the rides with the game on pause as long as the park's closed, but like I said, I'm trying to keep it as even just in case it plays some kind of way into this. So, first family shows up way earlier before everyone else. I don't know if this is going to be a 500 guest limit round. I feel like it's not going to because... Let's face it, both of these rides aren't that exciting. They're both in the red. Fear's both in the orange, and Nausea's both in the green. I feel like the Scissor is just a little bit of an upgraded Coriolis. A little more exciting, a little more fearful, a little more nauseating. Nauseating! We invented a word. But, look at this match! Coriolis has the lead, but by no means is this over. We've seen leads disappear. We've seen, rides that look like they're gonna win both rounds, like the last match. End up getting super close and almost tying. So, anything's possible in the best ride tournament in Planet Coaster. Is that what I called it? I think that's what I'm calling this. Coriolis has a major lead right now, though. So, forget everything I literally just said. We're at 419 guests in the park. We're probably not going to get too much higher than that. And it's looking like Coriolis is going to take round 1 on that right side. There you go. I don't know. We had so many win on the left side that I was doubting myself, but it's... I even just measured this, and it's pretty much dead even. So it's just the odds or how it ended up. It's all a coincidence. But yeah, this just proves that, hey, the right side can win. But it's looking like it's game over for Scizzor in this round. Although, as I say that, more guests enter it. There's a lot of people here. And I'm thinking right now is when I call it. Because that family, 2 families just went into Coriolis. And I think even with the 50 guests in the park, I can count it myself. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 50. 40 comes after 39. Yeah, okay, it's over. I'm calling it here. We're never going to hit 500 guests with these 2 rides, but, yeah. Coriolis wins round 1. Okay, round 2, match 12. I'm going to start to lose track of these numbers. Let the match. Oh, gotta open the park. Begin! If I had to guess, again, look at this. Another family shows up before the giant swarm of guests do, and they enter Coriolis queue line. That's interesting. But it's looking like Coriolis is going to be the winner here. As guests pile into both of these lines, Coriolis does have a significant lead here with these 2 spaces here, and yeah, it's not looking good for Scizzor. Again, this is Scizzor's first attempt in this tournament, and as I mentioned with this leg of the bracket, there are some rides that we're going to see for the first time. So, actually, this is both of their first time. Scizzor and Coriolis. Never mind, forget what I said. Anyway, not important. What is important is it looking a little bit closer? No, it's not. And it's looking like Coriolis is going to take round 2 as well. Which one had higher stats? Of course. Of course, the higher stat ride doesn't make it through. That's so weird how Forge beat Gears of Fear to start it. It's the start of the tournament. And now every single match we've seen since, the lower, for the most part, the lower stat ride wins. That's so weird. That is so weird. Well, how's the Zozo gonna perform? I'm actually scared. I don't know. Like, everything in my brain says, oh yeah, Zozo is going the distance in this tournament. However, who knows what happens when it's pitted up against a ride one-on-one. It might not become that amazing ride that we all know and love. It might have been the right place at the right time. I'm doubting it, even though, proof has shown that the Zozo is a great ride from Tiny Park. So I still have a feeling Zozo is going to be a difficult one to beat. This is a much closer round, which kind of sucks because, like I just said earlier, I'm going to have to sit here and wait now because there's definitely, if every guest enters this queue line, it's going to win. But the odds of that happening are very slim. If I sit here for 20 hours, possibly we might hit that 500, but still, odds of Scizzor beating out Coriolis and then winning another round, slim to none. Although, I say that, and looking at this queue line, the reason why I'm now questioning it is right here. Fine, I'll run it. You made me do it. We're running it. I didn't want to run it, but I'm running it just to make sure. Damn it, this is going to take longer now. Okay, 478 guests ended up showing up. Scissor got 223 of them, while Coriolis got 255. Coriolis wins round 2 and moves on in the tournament. And with that, Coriolis moves on in the tournament to face Sunflare in the next round. And now, on to our final match of the day, the most anticipated Zozo vs. Hammer Swing. Looking at these stats, and based on all the information we've gotten from all the matches we've done so far, it's starting to make sense as why Zozo is such a good ride. Its stats are exactly what I said. The perfect ride stats are around. 3 to 4-ish with excitement, fear's under 3, and nausea's under 3 as well. With that being said, Hammer Swing also isn't a bad ride. Excitement is up there. Nausea and fear, though, are also up there, which I think is going to be its downfall in this next round. Here we go. Zozo vs. Hammer Swing. Alright, match 13. The much anticipated match 13 as the Zozo makes its entrance into this competition. Let's make sure everything is set up correctly. Okay. Hammer Swing is set up correctly. The park is open. Let round 1 begin! Oh, I'm excited. I'm scared and excited. Right away, people turn away from the Zozo. What is happening? Did I do something wrong? Are both the rides closed again? Oh my god. I was too excited. Alright, pausing everything. Unbelievable. Okay, that's open. Zozo's open. The park is open. Here we go. Now everyone's showing up, and they are all going for the Zozo. Although, Hammer Swing did get a chunk there, but it's looking like Zozo is now pulling away with a huge lead. Look at that. The Zozo's numbers. The sweet spot. That 4 excitement. That fear is super low. Below a 3. And nausea is also below a 3. It's going to be difficult for rides to keep up with this ride. However, hold on a second. Are they saying? I'm not queuing that long to go on Zozo. This is the first time we've seen this message. Oh no, what are we gonna do? And now more of them are going on Hammer Swing. What do we do? Alright, round 1. I'm trying something new. I don't know if this is going to work. I may have glitched something out. I probably didn't, and this probably isn't going to work. But fingers crossed that it is. It looks like... I don't even know at this point. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I've been trying to make this work all night. I've tried multiple things. I did find a system that worked, but it just took so long to do. And it wasn't... It's going to be a pain to edit. So I'm hoping I don't have to do that every single time if the Zozo moves on. So that's why I'm hoping this weird glitch thing works. Let's find out. I wonder how many guests are technically in this queue right now. I wonder how many guests can be in the queue before they're like, whoa, too long. Although, did I do it? Did I successfully glitch it out? I think I might have. I think we might have glitched out. Although, there's a surprisingly high number going for the Hammer Swing. But the fact that people are still entering the Zozo, I think we did it. It's still at 0 minutes. I did it! Success! The reason why I wasn't clicking that was there was a potential spoiler there, and I didn't want you guys to see it. Like I said, I've been experimenting and figuring this stuff out all night, so it's looking like the Zozo is gonna win this round, and it's looking like that I'm gonna save this save file. It's gonna be a different one because I'll just replace whatever ride's on the other side. The Zozo is the only ride that this has happened with, and I'm pretty sure it's the only ride that this glitch will happen with, or not glitch. The whole queue line being a problem. Because if you look at all these other rides, none of the ones we've ever tested had this problem, and there's none that have as low a capacity as the Zozo. Like, this thing holds 4 people at once. None of these other rides come anywhere close to that low. So that's why none of these other rides had a problem. I didn't think the Zozo was going to have this problem at all. It's why I set the number to 500, because I thought that would be low enough for it. No, it's not. So, with that... The Zozo is a special case, and I think with our current setup, whatever I did to glitch it out, to make the queue time 0, it worked, and Zozo wins round 1. There you go. This is great. This is going to make my life so much easier. So I'm going to close everything down, hope it still works, and we're going to see what happens here. I think what do I need to do? I need to reload the save file is what I need to do. Because if I close this ride, this number will reset. And I can't have this number reset on me. So that is, I think it is the save file that made this happen. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, here we go. Round 2. Zozo versus Hammer Swing. Who's going to win it? My money's on Zozo. The rides are open because they're permanently stuck open. Hold on a second. I might need to change one thing. I do. Okay, so I gotta turn this off, or else they'll ride it, and then that'll cause a problem. Hopefully, I did that quick enough, and it wasn't an issue. Here we go. Fingers crossed that it glitches and everything works. So 2 words that sentence literally made no sense, but for us and our purposes, it made plenty of sense. Oh, I'm so happy. You don't know how happy I am. The previous setup, what it was I had changed the park limit to 100, and I was letting 100 guests in at a time. Oh crap, I also just realized we don't have this set to 500. Well, that's fine, because guests will stop coming in eventually. As I was saying, I had set it to 100. I was letting 100 guests in at a time, and then running them all through the rides. And I would do that 100 at a time, and it took so long because the Zozo was so slow. And it worked, but it was so time-consuming, and it was awful. So, the fact that this is working now makes me so happy. You have no idea. I've been at this all night. I'm so excited. And it's clear as frickin' day. Zozo wins again. We're past 500. I'm kind of afraid to change that number now, but it's nice that the guests start trickling in around 500, so we don't have to worry about it. Zozo gets past Pirates with Bad Aim, and does what we were all expecting. Zozo wins it in a pretty dominant fashion here against Hammer Swing. Look at that. And there you have it. Our winners for today are Sunflare, Coriolis, and Zozo. Next episode, we'll see Hellion Ring vs. Overpowered, Monte Leone vs. Iron Claw, and Sky Ace vs. the Teacups. Wow, that one is going to probably be a little one-sided. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Leave a like and share the video if you enjoyed. They help it a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time.